Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to CRL for Tier 2 for Round 7. Round 8, sorry, at the Monaco Grand Prix. Hope you're all doing well after coming after a fantastic race at the USA Grand Prix where Phoenix took a dominant victory ahead of the two Mercedes drivers where King Panda took third place on his first race back since a few seasons ago. Can Mercedes keep it up? We're about to find out. But my name is Indigo, and alongside me tonight is Milan Langa. Hochatet. You're on mute, by the way.
There we go then. I'm alright, thank you. And I'm glad to be back for another round. I was there with Mexico. And tonight at Monaco, I'm excited to see this league race once again. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate. Now, Monaco, we all know, is a tricky circuit to overtake. The only DRS zones on the main straight, of course. So what qualifying is very important, as they say, and it definitely is as well, as Bean gets a massive slide out of the Portier section when we saw Jenson Button and Pascal Wehrlein crash there back in 2017 when Button replaced Alonso. Bean hits the Nova chicane on his outlap already, Milan, and he's broke his wing.
Yeah, I saw that. Just turned a little bit too early. Even on his outlap, that inside wall is very tricky. You can easily catch you out and knock off your wheel. And on the exit as well, it's a very tricky chicane on this game. But I reckon he was going to go into the pit lane once again because his entire front left is broken. And there he goes indeed.
So a majority of drivers out on the circuit except Bean, who's back in the pit lane. Cavonis is in the pit lane too. So I think an RB is about to start flying up around here at this 5.3 kilometer circuit as we head down towards turn 1. Looks up on the left front, interestingly, usually it's the right front, but as we climb up towards Eau Rouge and Radion, sorry, not Eau Rouge and Radion, what's it? I've actually forgotten what it's called. Beaurivage and Casino Square. As we now exit Casino Square, going down to Portier. I used to know all the track names, in fact, all the names on this track as we come down the hairpin into second gear. Slow speed corner, the slowest corner on this circuit as he looks up on the right front again, heading towards the right hand. Out of Portier he goes, upshifted to third gear on the throttle. Overtake available as we head under the tunnel then. We saw a nasty moment in Formula 2 where we saw, I think, Isaac Hadjar almost at the back of somebody as they headed into the tunnel and he was unsighted. False start negotiates the Nova chicane really well as we now enter to back. Here we are then. In fifth gear, hits the wall on the outside, but luckily enough for him, he gets away with it. But it is his first lap as he locks up going in towards the swimming pool section. It's always nice to have a banker, so even if you do mess up slightly or massively on your first lap, you've got that banker to compare yourself and go faster here. And also another track limits. And here was 4-star blasting his way towards the line as the 10.6, and in the practice sessions we were in the 9s.
Always good to have a banker lap out. It's about survival in these first few laps. Get your car across the line, get a banker lap, and keep your car in one piece, which is what he has done. And so far he is quickest because Spider-Man currently behind in the 112. So definitely the times we will be seeing at the end of the session. But there's all banker laps, just trying to keep it safe, trying to keep it out of the barrier and have at least a set time on the board as Harry Palmer goes across the line well into the 1.9s, a 0.383, and that's a very good lap time indeed for his first lap.
Sorry, did he go into P3 as he's been displaced by Phoenix. Phoenix now is on pole with a 9.2. Tobes in the Haas goes to P3. And let's see if he can keep this up. But only two drivers in the 9.3s on a track like this. We see the higher caliber drivers really progress and showcase their skills, whereas other people will be tentative. As King Tai Panda goes up into P5 in the Mercedes, as AJ Wuhan now is right behind his teammate Harry Palmer. Those two had a scrap at the Mexican Grand Prix. I think one was on the hardcore pod side, the other on the mediums, but it didn't go Harry Palmer's way because he did the hard to medium strategy like he did in USA. So I think he might rectify his mistake there, but I don't know what the tyre life is like around here, Milan, on the soft compound sides. What strategy is it? This is the only track I don't really know.
I'm not quite sure either, so I didn't make it far in the league race. I did last time, but I reckon it's probably going to be mediums, hards, or I don't know if the softs work around here. We'll have to find out. What I do know is that AFL spun and he hit the inside wall of Raskas, I think, with his rear tires. He was halfway across the track. But yeah, the times are slowly coming in. Yeah, tire wear is going to be interesting. The strategy especially is going to be interesting. You don't want to be in traffic. You basically want to go for the undercut and then hold up everyone, as overtaking is so difficult around here. And hopefully now in the Aston Martin will come around the final corner, currently without a lap time on the board with 13 minutes remaining. It will be a 109.6 to put him up into P4.
Great lap time there for Hobbs, the man that scored a podium twice this season, looking very handy indeed. It's 3-4 in the kick Sauber now. Goes with P6 as Kavolis down in 19th place. Haven't set a lap time just yet. Bean now exit Raskas, as he goes with the P9. That's a 10.2 for him. So finally got a lap time on the board. He is inside the top 10, which is very critical for him. So that's the first lap times done and dusted. But I can see Clerpiard going for another lap on these set of soft car tyres. His third lap, so let's see his intermediate split up by 0.2 of a second. But unfortunately, he made a big mistake. Well, a very small mistake as he exceeded track limits, and that lap time is over for him.
Indeed, big mistake with huge consequences as he invalidates going into the swimming pool session. It's very easy to do in the swimming pool session, to take a little bit too much curb, just go over the white line and invalidate your lap. So Curly has retired from the session. I think that's the exit of the Newell chicane, hit the wall, and the Williams driver's out already as Harry Palmer goes to the top with a 109.0.
Harry Palmer up into first place to 9.0. Phoenix only managed, I think, a 9.0 or 8.9. And now he beats that by a milestone. It's 8.6 there for Phoenix, 4 tenths quicker. And the rest of the Tier 2 drivers will not be happy with that one. They complained last week about him being so dominant. And he fired back too, not really taking a hint there is Phoenix. But yeah, they rage baited him, as they say nowadays. And he definitely took the bait. But Phoenix up into P1. But the reason why he's not promoted into Tier 1 is because he can't race on Thursdays. I think he has an ACC league, otherwise he'll definitely be promoted. And plus, we're almost like towards the end of the season with about 3 or 4 races left to go, so of course he wants to win the championship. But being so far in front, he could miss a few races if he wants to, have a better time off and win the championship that way, unless he feels brave to do it, of course. But obviously he's not going to do that, as Phoenix then makes his way towards the Nova chicane. And we see plenty of crashes there, especially with Charles Leclerc and Brendan Hartley in the Toro Rosso. And Brendan Hartley double locked up and smashed into the back of Charles Leclerc, and it was Leclerc's first race in Monaco as well. 2019, I think he had a problem. He started at the back of the field and he made a move into Raskas on Hulkenberg and he clipped the barriers and retired then. 2020, I don't really remember that Grand Prix. 2021 is when I think it was Verstappen who won that Grand Prix. In fact, Leclerc started a pole, but he crashed in the smooth pool session and had a broken gearbox for the race.
Indeed, Leclerc has been far from lucky at around this home Grand Prix, except for this year, or last season, I would say 2024, where he finally won his home race, which was very heartwarming to see. But 10 minutes remain, few cars out on track. You've got Tobis on a lap in the Haas. He is up or down on his time by a few hundredths to 26 thousandths of a second to be precise, as he is going to go into Tabac corner to end off sector 2, looking very neat around the corner. 6 tenths up through the middle sector, he gained a lot of time there. Now into the swimming pool, very tight to the walls, and now into Raskas. Very easy to clip your rear wide tire on that wall on the inside. And into the final corner to end off the lap with the only DRS zone, which is not quite useful around here. But he comes across the line for a 109.4, puts him on the second row at the moment, but 7.5 tenths off the man on pole position right now.
We got some decent lap times coming in as something happened at Portier. It's one of the McLaren drivers. It's not KXI, it's Spider. I think he's out of the way for people because people are on their flyer laps and he's out of lap. AFL, unfortunately, invalidates, but I think he's going to go for another lap time. Half of qualifying has been completed and we've got the rest to go then. It's Phoenix who's on pole with an 8.6, followed by Harry Palmer in second place, looking to score his first podium of the season after being so close in previous attempts, but unfortunately can't get the strategy right. But hopefully, a track like this, where it's difficult to overtake, he might get the strategy right, unless he does a Ferrari back in 2022 when they both pitted Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. I think Charles Leclerc was leading and then Perez leapfrogged him, and Leclerc finished his second, Verstappen third, I think, on that day. And there was a lot of controversy surrounding that 2022 qualifying because in qualifying, Sergio Perez he basically just crashed at Portier in an unusual place nowadays. And it looked like on the telemetry that he booted the throttle, spun the car around, brought out the yellow flag, and Carlos Sainz hit him. So Verstappen, Clerpiard bounces over the chicane and unfortunately invalidates his lap time. But yeah, there's a bit of tension in Brazil because Verstappen talked about it, not specifically, but indirectly, and possibly referred to that moment in Monaco. Wanted to pay the favour because Sergio Perez was fighting for second against Charles Leclerc in the championship, and GP on the blower said Max let Checo go, but Max didn't let him go, and that's when fireworks spotted there. But Perez is our Red Bull. It is Liam Lawson next to him.
very exciting indeed to see that pairing alongside each other in 2025. I'm excited to see what Lawson can do. He's been quite impressive in the V Cup alongside Yuki Tsunoda, who I know many people believe that Tsunoda deserved that Red Bull seat more than Lawson. But I believe Lawson is quite a fighter on track, and I think he knows how to race very well. So it's going to be exciting to see what he can do alongside Max Verstappen. It's a big task to line up alongside a now 4-time world champion, as Bosch Evans has crashed on the exit of the Newell chicane as well now.
Oh, massive blow for Bosch Evans. I presume he hit the inside front and unfortunately lost his wheel. So that's him. Qualified P3 is the best, unless guys behind him can go faster than that. Hobsley is on a flying lap. No, he's not. He just backed off 2 seconds down in the first set. So I think he's going for another flying lap on the same set of soft compound tyres. And AJ Wuhan in the Alpine is making his way down towards. There's a Mercedes off as well. It's that King Panda going off at Mirabo. When Nico Rosberg went off, it is King Panda's down at Mirabo. And he's reversing. Be very careful not to get disqualified. As we've seen, I think it was back in 2023 or 2024, where I think Perez reversed into Russell, or vice versa. But Harry Palmer's in the pit lane now, as AJ Wuhan, we were talking about, go back on board with him, as he's 4 seconds down.
Indeed, and the surprise that Phoenix, he's retired from the session quite early on, so he thinks he's going to be comfortable for pole position. I mean, he is 3.5 tenths ahead, so he might as well, but he's choosing not to improve on his lap, which is quite a risk to take. But then again, he has been the man to beat so far this season. So well, interesting to see if anyone can try or can at least match his lap time or go even faster. Would be very impressive, because the gap to P3 is already 6:10. So yeah, interesting decision by Phoenix, but we'll see how it pans out for him.
Doing a Sebastian Vettel back in Singapore when he retired on his one and only lap time. Here goes Diddy. He was up and he's up into P8 now. That's a great lap time from Diddy in the 9.7. It's so close if you discount Harry Palmer and Jake Garrett in P1. The two boys from Manchester and are up there in first and second there. So this is looking good for them so far. They've been quite close to the track, but Harry Palmer tends to drift away in the last stage of the Grand Prix, whether it's due to doubt of strategy or whatever. AJ is 2 tenths up in the middle sector, but he rides the curve there and unfortunately has invalidated that, I think, ambition over adhesion there, as Martin Buddha would say, and he's back in the pit lane.
Indeed, I think he hit the inside wall where many drivers in the past have hit the inside wall and bounced off into the outside wall, but he hit that wall which settled his car and bounced him over the curb. Unfortunately, as he was looking very strong to that second part of the lap, but invalidation sees an end of his lap, back into the pit lane with 5 minutes remaining. And is anyone else out there on the track? Cavolis in the Sauber seems to be on the lap, down in P12 right now. The gaps are quite big, I must say, in the field spread, as P12 1.8 seconds off, and already the top 5 is within 1 second of the man currently on pole position. We take a look on board with the kick Sauber down into the chicane. Keep it out of the walls is the most important thing here, and he does so very close to the outside wall, though on the exit now into the final sector, into the back into the swimming pool chicane. 1/10 up on his time, could gain him a few positions, very close to the wall, very precise. There's a few centimeters between himself and the wall now. Into Raskas a little bit deep, but on the exit he does quite get the traction right. And now on to the start finish straight. Can he turn P12 into a top 10? Across the line he goes. He can turn it into the top 10, and it is P10 with 110.3.
Yeah, so Bo kicks up as inside the top 10. 3-4 had a mega qualifying back in the Canadian Grand Prix, finished second on that day. But unfortunately in USA, in fact, I get it mixed up because he raced in Division 1 and Division 2 as well. So I did get mixed up there. But in USA, unfortunately for 3-4, didn't quite go his way. He did finish ahead of his teammate in 14th place and Cavolis in P15 as well. So not a good day there for Sauber after a high at the Canadian Grand Prix. But we'll see. The Cavolis has struggled this season. He's been outside the top 10 quite frequently, as he scored in the points, I think, about twice when both Saubers had a decent race back in the Singapore Grand Prix, when they got very close together. Talk about the Sauber now. Here goes Freefall on a flying lap as he heads down towards turn 1 we go. Looking for your breaking point. I remember Felipe Massa crashing here back in 2013 when he just locked up on the wet conditions. Jolyon Palmer did the same thing as well. The F1 TV commentator also did the same thing as he crashed on the zebra crossing, and it was very slippery that day, 2016. As we now flick our way towards Mirabo we go. I think this is Mirabo. Mirabo down here is a few hundreds up in the first sector. Is 3-4, but he can still find more time as he gets on the throttle once again. Nice traction at the exit of the slow speed corners. That's very important as well, not to lose traction here, because it's so easy to just wheel spin. Look at that, just like that. A bit too much throttle import. It could have big consequences. And let's see then how much time is lost as he heads down towards the tunnel. As we look for the breaking point, in the sun we go, breaking just at the 100-meter board, down to 38. Watch the wall on the inside because it will catch a lot of people out. But he negotiates it very nicely, back on the floor once again. As 3-4 heads towards the back, he's currently 2/10 up in his most set. So let's see. It could put him into P4. Oh, he scrapes the barriers there. Super close to hitting it, but gets away with it then. So finding all the time he can find in that final setter as we make our way towards Anthony Knows we go. DRS enabled as he slides and wobbles on the corner. Here he is. 3-4 up towards the line. It's going to be P5, and he did lose time in that final setter there, Milan.
Yeah, he did. The final sector wasn't too great. He lost time a little bit into the rush gas, going a bit deep on the exit, struggling for traction on the final corner as well. So I think he could have maybe, if he might nailed that final sector, could have gone onto the second row. But at the moment he will have to settle for P5 with only 2 minutes remain. Is there any time to go for another lap? If he has the fuel, he can certainly next lap, but I don't think he can come back into the pit lane and try again. So 2 minutes remain. Phoenix still very much on pole position. Harry Palmer is on outlap though, as Bean has now retired from the session. He will not go out to try and improve. But what can Harry Palmer do from the front row? Can he find a magical lap to put it on pole position around Monaco? That is the question we will get an answer to in a few moments' time.
Yes, Harry Palmer, the pressure is on him if he wants to start winning races and be competitive in the championship. Him and Lozano Serra, the Spaniard, had a really great battle a few seasons ago when they had a big battle in Australia, Japan, and they were so close every single time. Lozano Serra had the better of him, but Harry Palmer finally got the better of her, I think, at the Japanese Grand Prix, as the DRS is enabled as we head down towards turn one. Take the shortcut there as he cuts the corner. Some people take it to third or fourth. It depends on preference now, as he's back on the floor. Use a bit of overtake to boost his way up the hill towards the Casino Square we go. Into fourth gear, carry good speed through here. This third gear, don't think it's the right gear to use, as he hesitates a bit, as he has a massive oversteer as well. He backs off, but there's still 1 minute left to go. So 1 minute left, and he could definitely go for another flying lap. Recharge the battery and save the tyre, or cool the tyres down.
Indeed, good decision to go out a bit early then, so if he can't make a mistake, he can try again. So he can just charge up the battery. With 45 seconds remaining, he will be able to make it to the flag in time. He'll have to push on just a little bit. But yeah, he can try again. It looked a little bit messy on this lap. So was struggling a bit through the first sector with oversteer as well. There's now a lot of drivers are on their laps with 30 seconds remain. Let's take a look more with Hopsy in the Aston Martin in P6 as it stands. Can he try and find an improvement on his lap? He's up by 0.5 of a second through sector 2. Massive improvement so far, and it's very close to the walls in sector 3, looking very clean indeed. Now into Raskas, a little bit deep, doesn't compromise his exit too much. A bit of a moment though on the exit now. Run to the line with DRS, ERS. What can he do? Currently in P6, big improvement coming up to the front row he goes. Mr. Hopsy with P2. What a lap that was.
Wow, Hopsy pulling out the back the very last second. The second driver to get inside the 8, so Diddy has rejoined by the session. Harry Palmer attempting another flying lap. Already done 3 sets or 3 laps of this set of crossbar tyres. In fact, no, that he's done 1 lap because I had on best, not tyre. As he heads down towards the hairpin, I think he was down in the first sector, only slightly though, so he can still make up the time in the middle sector and the last sector. Claire PR has retired in the pit lane as he currently starts in P8. On the fringes of the top 10, McLaren gets out of the way. Lovely to get out of the way there. I think it's from CRL, Spider, or KXI, but the other McLaren driver is behind an RB and a Sauber, so a bit of traffic going down there towards the swim pool station. Lock up, and he validates, and Harry Palmer's qualifying is done and dusted as he just took too much curb on the inside of the North chicane, and that is it. There's the traffic as KXI, I think, almost has a spin. He did as he gets back in the pit lane. Cavolis crosses the line, but he's not on a competitive lap time as he stays in P40. The Spider's the next one, 5.3 seconds down, unfortunately, for Spider. But I want to mention as well how close the guys are in the midfield, because from P8 down towards P11 where KXI separated by under a 10, that's incredible, especially on a track like this. A few more hundreds separate AJ3 for the Tobes, however, and Hopsy might stand out in qualifying, but Hopsy, can he get the jump off Phoenix? It's very difficult because I think Phoenix has the inside line going towards turn 1, so essentially Phoenix shouldn't lose the lead going down towards turn 1 unless there's a very, very bad start.
Yeah, indeed, but I think Phoenix is going to just get the start right, take the lead or remain in the lead from turn 1 and possibly drive off into the distance. But Hopsy very impressive indeed in qualifying, only 1.5 tenths off, even less than that. And Harry Palmer very unfortunate on his final lap as well, just taking a little bit too much speed into the Nouvelle chicane, just a little bit too much risk, and then unfortunately had invalidated. He will have to settle for P3 on the second row. Still, that podium could be his, just has to remain in that position. But very interesting qualifying indeed. And now let's head on to the race. It's going to be a good one for sure.
It is indeed. Then so let's see then how much chaos there is during the race. I think all the drivers, if I look correctly, have behaved themselves. No foul plays, grip penalties, which is always nice to see, because sometimes even when you're not blocking somebody, it gives you a foul plays, grip penalty, as the game thinks it has, but you haven't. So luckily, no lobby restart. The qualifying went swimmingly and smoothly as well. So let's see what happens during the Grand Prix then. But it's finished on pole ahead of Hobbs in P2, Hype on P3, Bosch Evans in P4, Toes 3 for AJ Clear PR, 4-star. 9th ahead of Diddy in P10, KXR P11 as King Panda in 12th, Polishman in 13th ahead of Cavolis, Ruben, Spire, AFL, Mighty Atom and Curly will start in last place, 4 seconds down, as it is a very difficult track, so you can excuse them, because I would definitely be a few seconds down, because it's one of my worst tracks ever. I've boycotted every single race I've had to go to Monaco for the past 2 years. I haven't touched it since like 2022.
Very difficult track indeed. I had a league race a few weeks ago. My qualifying didn't go very great either. My best lap was with a damaged front wing, and after that I didn't even manage to improve or invalidate both my laps. So yeah, Monaco, very, very tricky track. Very easy to just hit the wall and damage your front wing. So that is going to be the main thing as well. Keep your car in one piece throughout the race is probably the most challenging thing. But I believe the strategy will be hards and mediums as it stands right now. But we'll have to see in a few moments' time. But yeah, tricky circuit, and I'm sure we will see, well, probably a safety car due to someone hitting the barrier just a little bit too hard.
Let's see then what happens in this 39 lap race around here in Monaco. And also I want to mention as well, I think over 10 years ago, since 2014, that race when Rosberg won, mention about Jules Bianchi scoring in P9. He did finish in P8, but I think he had a 5-second time penalty for whatever reason. Maybe that move of Kobayashi done at Raskas, and that was Manna's first ever point after I think 84 attempts since 2010. So Jules Bianchi, a talented driver, scoring points in Monaco, which is very difficult to do, kept it out of trouble, because I think Kimi Räikkönen, lunged it down the inside of Magnussen in the hairpin, gave Jules a few more positions there. But that move in Raskas was very pivotal, because Caterham versus Russia was a tense battle for P10, as we always saw the Caterham and Russia and HRT always fight at the lower end of the field, always fighting for P10. But sometimes Marussia had the better Caterham. Caterham, I think in 2012, had the better of Marussia, because Vitaly Petrov finished in 11th at the Brazilian Grand Prix in the final race. Almost scored points to Vitaly Petrov in the Caterham, but unfortunately couldn't, as his teammate Heikki Kovalainen as well. It was his teammate as well. But yeah, those cars bring back memories. And Manor scored points twice with Pascal Wehrlein in Austria 2016 when he started, I think, in 12th place and finished in 9th after Sergio Perez crashed on the final lap. So did Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg as well. So yeah, plenty of memories around here in Monaco. Plenty of great memories with Michael Schumacher locking on the inside, and the ball to everybody's lap because of the red flag or double yellow flags came out. But yeah, we've seen cheating in the past before, but they know what they say. Pole position is the main place to start.
Indeed it is around Monaco, as it's very difficult to overtake these days in these cars. It used to be a bit easier and a couple of years ago when the cars were a little bit smaller, especially around the 70s, 60s. Those were the golden years for Monaco, I'd say. Also the most dangerous years in Monaco, as we had Lorenzo Bandini, unfortunately, had his fatal accident when they used straw bales as protection against the harbour, which, well, wasn't the best idea. As in 1955, I remember Alberto Ascari crashed into the harbour and he had to get dragged off his vehicle, swim back to rescue. So this track has come quite far with safety features, which is always good to see, as in these cars these days, cars going extremely fast, even around the streets of Monaco.
Yeah, I have no idea how the F1 drivers do 78 laps, qualifying practice sessions around here. Practice space perfect, but how on earth do you pay attention to 78 laps? And thinking about the strategy, the formation lap is going underway.
Yeah. There we go then. Yes, well, keeping focus, that's indeed very tricky around Monaco. I had a 100% league race I had here a few months ago, or almost a year ago, and it was 100% from dries, and at the end it was wet. And halfway, or at least a third of the way through, my sound completely went off from my game, so I had to drive the rest of the race without sound, which is quite tricky, especially when you have to upshift and downshift with traction control. But I did manage to keep it out of the barrier and win it on track. So, actually, by the way, that is Diddy who had a moment. Was it Phoenix? I think it was Phoenix who spawned the formation lap.
Oh, he just hit his teammate. Phoenix has just smacked into the back of his teammate. When he get disqualified, he will. Phoenix, Diddy, the two Ferraris have been disqualified. Phoenix there, not paying attention and smacking in the back of Diddy. Diddy would be absolutely furious with that one. What on earth was Phoenix thinking there? Did he think everyone was ghosted? It's been a long time since he's been racing, since 2022, his last league in FRL. But already controversy on the formation lap as KXI and Panda also come to blows for outside the top 10, 11 and 12 there. So major blow there, and the problem is that Phoenix was starting the cold, hard compound tyres. So in the first sector, he's been really struggling, sliding around like it's. No, I'm going to say that, but yeah, he's really started so much. And Phoenix says, "I'm sorry" to Diddy, as apologising to your teammate, but it might not help him during the early stages of this Grand Prix.
Indeed, but he has the advantage though that the two guys directly behind him are cold tires as well, so I don't think Diddy will lose too much. But Phoenix, on the other hand, he is on the hards and has colder tires, while Hopsy in P2, he has the tire advantage on the mediums. He will have the warmer tires as well. Could we potentially see a change of lead on lap 1 with Hopsy getting the advantage at the start? That is going to be interesting to see.
Last car lines with the grid, it is WT Curley. And the mighty Atto, the two Williams at the back of the field. The Spider has been disqualified for misplacing his car. As we watch the lights then on the panels right in front of us to get set for the Monaco Grand Prix. Here we are then, here are the lights on the paddles. 3, 4, 5 lights we go, and Spider gets a drive-through penalty already in this race. It's been held for so long. Away we go. Can Hobbsy jump him? Yes, he can. Hobbsy takes the lead. In towards turn 1 we go. He's done it. And Phoenix, will he be struggling on those hard compound tyres? And let's make contact on the background too, as that Diddy and KXI, as Harry Palmer and Bosch Evans going side by side there, as Bosch Evans has to back out of it. But it's Hobbsy who takes the lead away. It's Harry Palmer almost does like David Coulthard and Sebastian Bourdais back in 2008 when they crashed. As we head down, it was Scott Speed, I think it was. As we head down now towards the hairpin we go. Hobbsy leads ahead of Phoenix, Harry Palmer and P3, but looks like everybody got away cleanly. But there is somebody that lost the end plate because I saw a bit of carbon fibre. So they all get bunched up in the hairpin we go. As Phoenix really struggling for grip on the hard compound tyres.
The brilliant starter for Hobbs. He did exactly what I needed to do, exactly what I thought was going to happen, because Phoenix with the cold hard tires couldn't get off the line, just didn't have the traction, and Hobbs profited from that, and he has taken the lead. And now all he has to do, I say, for 39 laps is keep Phoenix behind, which is going to be easier said than done. But he will be on the memes, he will pit earlier, so hopefully that will help in the later start of the race. And when you look at Tobias as well, he's the only man on the softs. What can he do in these early stages, as Bosch Evans goes a little bit deep into Raskas, but he has not quite able to get past it. It is so difficult to overtake. Bosch Evans already falling out of the DRS race onto lap 2. DRS enabled. Phoenix is under pressure now from Harry Palmer from behind.
Harry Palmer wants to capitalise on these big compound tyres, changing left and right. Where can it go? There's no space as the cars are over 2 metres wide, and unfortunately can't overtake. Otherwise, he would, I think on the medium compound tyres, he would definitely love to get past immediately on Phoenix there to follow Hobbs here. But Phoenix did a really good job. I've seen him lock it up in all sorts of places there, but the tyres are still relatively cold there on the hards. Heavy fuel as well, and adjusted to this track is also one thing. So a lot of drivers got a lot of learning. I noticed on the last lap that Hobbs, Phoenix and Harry Palmer almost made a mistake. All three of them made a mistake at the swimming pool section going out wide. But Harry Palmer, that tap of the barrier on the outside where Fernando will also crash back in 2008 on the wrong tyre in the Renault. I think he escaped free, but Phoenix gets a track limit 1 in there as he cut the chicane, so that could be his first warning. 2 more there and he'll get 3 second penalty.
You have to be mindful that's very easy to go a little bit too wide in this corner as well, but in the Nouveau chicane especially, and you go just a little bit too deep trying to avoid the inside wall, you might just end up going too wide and getting yourself a track limit 1 again. So Phoenix very close to the wall into the final corner. Harry Palmer has the DRS, but it's no use, because the DRS zone is so short around here. But Phoenix once again a little bit wide. Here comes Harry Palmer alongside. Surely not, as we could almost have a Paris and Magnus a moment here. Very close for contact, and Phoenix stays ahead for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, very close there. Phoenix is defending for all his life. He's doing a really good job so far, but as you can see, he's really struggling on those hard compound tyres. Harry Palmer is putting the pressure on the Ferrari driver, making him go defensive on the inside, potentially missing his racing lines too, making him go out wide. There's a bit of contact going down towards the hairpin there. Toby on the soft compound tyres in P5, but unfortunately stuck in that DRS train as Bosch Evans is 2.7 seconds behind. So that's the second DRS train there from P4 downwards as Harry Palmer continues to pursue Phoenix as Hobbsy is pulling away from the Ferrari driver. Great pace from Hobbsy as well, trying to get his first win of the season. And let's see, no way Harry Palmer gets a better exit, but I thought for 1 second he might fancy a chance into back, but that's a risky move. I don't think nobody I haven't really seen many overtakes going down there. Well, then Nico Rosberg crashing out as Phoenix skips over the chicane as we head down towards Raskas now, where people have clipped the tyres. Oh, as Harry Palmer on board clipped the right rear tyre, but luckily got away with that.
Yeah, indeed, clipped the right tire on the entry of Raskas, which is very easy to do. He's desperately trying to find a way past Phoenix, putting on to immense pressure, but Phoenix is still holding on onto these hard tires. We're slowly but surely getting up to temperature, and he's still within the 1 second margin of Hopsey as well, but still under massive pressure as he has a little bit of a moment through Massenet into Casino Square. But Phoenix holding on to that P2 for now. A bit of a lock-up though into Mirabeau, but it's just so difficult to overtake. And Harry Palmer just can't quite find a way past.
No, it can't at all, as Phoenix can't get himself in DRS range of Hobbsy either, so difficulty of overtaking is very high, of course. And further behind, let's mention this second train. Bosch Evans and P4 on the hard compound tyres doing a great job to defend from Toby on the soft compound tyres, looking for an early stint on those softs before he goes on to the hards. Potentially take them towards the end because the hard compound tyres are so durable. Maybe he could do a softer hard strategy, but pay the consequences. Maybe at this early stage try to do the undercut, because the undercut I think is powerful around here. So if Toby pits early, gets on the hard compound tyres and reduce that time and deficit, maybe could jump Josh before he pits. So let's have a look then. We know that so people have gone for the overcut before, because so difficult to overtake around here. So let's see what the strategy is there for Toby and P5. But did a good job so far. Hopsey now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as Phoenix has brought the gap down to 9 tenths as well. As Harry Palmer's had a bit of a moment out of turn one there. He's dropped backwards. The gap is 8 tenths. Here comes that second train of cars. Bosch Evans, Toby, AJ Wuhan and a 3-4 as they're all climbing up towards the hill in single file as KXI is right at the back of Claire PR. Let's see if there's any feisty drivers that are going to risk it all tonight, as KXI is definitely risking his fuel because he's underfueled the car by loads. So let's see what happens going down towards Mirabeau. Diddy's right behind as well. KXI, who lost the place towards the start of the race, got pushed back one place, but he's putting the pressure on the McLaren driver and the Red Bull, the only driver in this race that picks up a 3-second penalty. And Claire PR also makes a mistake as he's ghosted and dropped backwards too.
Yeah, on the exit of the hairpin, almost lost it. He dropped it on the exit. Almost went into the wall, but he managed to keep it out of the barrier and stay ahead of the McLaren as well. But as you said, the strategy is going to be very important. You can either go for the undercut or the overcut. It depends if you have traffic or not, as KXI very close to crashing out on the exit of Newell Chicane. But yeah, if you got traffic, you know you can't pit early because you will end up in traffic. It's difficult to overtake. But if you do have free air, you might as well pit earlier and then hold up the cars behind for the rest of the race. So Harry Palmer also had a bit of a moment coming out of the final corner. He's still trying to hold on to Phoenix, using absolutely everything of his ERS to try and remain close. But Harry Palmer is struggling as well on these mediums, having loads of moments with the rear end stepping out around this track.
Yeah, so it's Phoenix as well as a massive lockup going there, unloaded right front tyre in towards Mirabeau we go, and Martin Bundle said a 50 pence piece, but on this game it doesn't really matter because we don't really have flat spots on this game, so not really a big concern as we exit now Portier heading down the tunnel where we saw Michael Schumacher I think crashed all those years ago under a safety car. As we head now towards Nova Chicane we go. As you can see, really close. These guys are fighting, in fact playing with the channel limits there, because they're getting ever so close as there's a RB who's gone for a spin as AFR facing backwards as he gets pointed in the right direction again, and unfortunately it's broken his end plate, so he rejoins on the P18. So the two commentators for Tier 4 and Tier 5 a few seasons ago, Spider and AFL down there in P18 and P19, as Phoenix then right step back. Maybe Hobbs' tyres are starting to fade away just a bit there, but now Phoenix, can he overtake Hobbsy? It's going to be very difficult to do so. Hobbsy has got to make sure he doesn't go out wide, because it's so easy. I say that it's so easy to defend from the guy behind, as long as you keep it in the middle of the road and don't make any sort of mistakes by sliding into the corner.
Indeed, just keeping it in the middle will force the other driver behind to go for an aggressive move, to take big risks, which you don't really want to do around here when the walls are so close around you. So all he has to do is just stay in the middle and don't make too many mistakes when dropping the car. But yeah, can Phoenix find a way past? We've seen that Harry Palmer struggled to get past Phoenix, so would be surprised if Phoenix does find a way past the Aston Martin.
And one more warning for Phoenix, that is a 3-second penalty. So check the warnings. One more corner quitting violation. He will get a 3-second penalty as he plays with Chalamis once again then. As he's trying to find a way past Hobbs. He looks like the pendulum swung towards his way. The hard compound tyres seem to be better than the mediums at this stage. But Hobbs really started in the swim pool section. And AJ's right behind Tobes as we go through the swim pool section. They've dropped off dramatically as they all bunch up towards Rask as we go. DRS will be enabled for Phoenix and Harry Palmer as they pressurise Hobbsy. Oh, massive wheel spin as Jake almost lost it. Out of Anthony Nose, tries to get the power quickly as he saw Hobbsy lose the rear, and Phoenix did the same thing too, so tried to respond quicker as he has a tap on the wall on the outside there. But Toby's tyres are starting to die now on the soft then, so his stint is short-lived. And look at this then, Phoenix goes out wide in Casino, but brings it back over to the left to defend from Harry Palmer then. These guys are risking it all.
Indeed, he's so close behind the Aston Martin, it's almost kind of distracting as he has loads of moments as well, going off himself while trying to find a way past Hobbsy, but Hobbsy at the moment seeming very close, very slow on these mediums, and the hards are finally coming to life on the exit of Portia as well. The Aston Martin getting all out of shape, but he knows that it's so difficult to overtake as the Ferrari Phoenix gets close once again, but just not close enough as he's right behind into the Neuville chicane. Hobbsy a bit deep on the exit, he don't want to go into tobacco and both end up into the wall. So Hobbsy still able to stay in front. Last lap he had a bit of a moment in the swimming pool chicane where you can't really overtake either. An overtaking opportunity is in Raskas, but Phoenix will have to switch to the inside, but he can't just quite make that space. He will have to stay behind yet again as Harry Palmer with a massive moment on the exit of Raskas, once again dropping the rear end as he tries to remain close to the cars in front.
Oh, Phoenix can't get past Hobbsy. Hobbsy doing everything he can in his power to get the Ferrari as he also gets super close to the wall on the outside. That's the second lap in a row when Phoenix has played with the outside wall there, trying to utilise every single part of the racetrack as AJ is right behind Toby again. Oh, look at this down the inside. This could be probably the first overtake, but no, Toby just stays in front there as he's really struggling on those soft compound tyres. Is Tobes defending from the guys behind. AJ was so frustrated because Bosch Evans has pulled away. Bosch Evans now is running a lonely race in P4, go for a long stint. Let's see if that pays dividends later on in this Grand Prix as well as we head back towards the top. Phoenix has a massive movement as well out of Portia as we head under the tunnel once again as he's too far back to make an overtake. He's just waiting. All these guys are waiting for one slight slip up, and they're there. Oh. Look at this, gets a better exit, and the side by side in towards the back they go, and Danny is taking spin into contact. Harry Palmer goes up into P2. Hobbsy has now lost the lead, has been shuffled into P3, and Phoenix there not given any space. Well, there's no space whatsoever as the Aston Martin Ruben has gone for a spin at the exit of Portier, but unfortunately for Hobbsy, Phoenix had the race in line, and he took that place.
Yeah, Hobbsy will not be happy with that move as he was almost squeezed into the wall there. It's such a risk to go into the inside of the back going wheel to wheel through there. Usually never works out and they almost both ended up into the wall. But Phoenix in the end is the man in the lead of this race, and Harry Palmer, well, he profited from that as well, just sliding underneath through, and Hobbsy now falling behind as well as Harry Palmer once again dropping the rear end. But yeah, Hobbsy from P1 to P3 in the span of a single corner, you won't be happy with that for sure.
I'm not quite sure what the verdict on that one is. They're in side by side and it's very tight down towards the back. At least none of them are in the wall. Phoenix had to make the move and he did down the inside as Hobbsy to rise the curve as Bosch Evans now has closed in on this battle. So despite being mid-race in suspense, he's currently in P4 now, right behind Hobbsy then, so he could capitalise on his mistake as Bosch Evans there rides the car. But Phoenix then capitalising now on those hard compound tyres, pulling away from even Harry Palmer, setting in personal best in the middle sector. He got free air now and can pull away.
Indeed, Garen, Phoenix has been thrown into clear air to try and build a gap to the cars behind who will pit earlier. But the gap's already growing to 1.6, so Phoenix much quicker than the cars on mediums. And you can see that hards are, well, probably quicker than the mediums as it stands right now. Bosch Evans has closed the gap as well. He is now closing the gap to Mr. Hobbsy. Was almost going into the wall on the exit of turn 1 though. But yeah, the hards seem to be working better at this stage of the race. And Harry Palmer and Hobbsy will have to hold on for these tires a little bit longer. Still 28 laps to go. So pit window not quite there yet. But Bosch Evans will now be putting the pressure on these two.
He will indeed on those hard compound tyres, so the start's coming to play for Bosch Evans and Phoenix there. Phoenix continues to extend the gap over Harry Palmer. Hobbsy defending for Bosch Evans behind. Seen these two scrape the wall multiple times. Harry Palmer on this lap, scraping the wall out of turn 1, really fights the car, playing with the limits of this track and getting away with it. But they can't get away with it forever, because one small tap against the wall could end your race. As we see those guys go down towards North Chicane, as Hobbsy really struggling with the back end of the car. Every time he applies at all, the rear is not there. He loses traction all the time. So his mediums are way past his best.
Oh, Toby's into the wall on the exit of North Chicane, and he's lost his front wing. He wants something into the wall, and he's out. The Haas is out, into the back, he's crashed, and the safety car is out.
Safety car's come out, but what about the safety car? There it is, just in front of Phoenix there, or behind, sorry. That could have been detrimental for this race, because any few seconds before, the safety car would have came out, held up Phoenix and Palmer and Hobbsy, but luckily just got ahead of it. So there is the safety car behind Hobbsy. But all these guys, this ruins the chance for the undercut of Phoenix now, because he will go for harsh to mediums. But the question is, though, can mediums take the Phoenix towards the end? Sorry, can Phoenix take the mediums towards the end of the Grand Prix? That's the question. Harry Palmer and Hobbsy benefits about a safety car going on the hardcore power tyres. They could definitely go towards the end now, but Phoenix, Bosch Evans and 4-star might be in a bit of trouble, as we see the rest of the midfield pits. Cavonis goes through into P7s. That's going to be a blockade there.
25, 26 laps on the medium, surely that can't be making that. As we always saw Harry Palmer and Hobbsy struggling on the mediums after just 10, 11 laps. So it's a difficult decision for Phoenix. If he pits now, he will be still in the lead of this race, and he will have to tire advance, and he will probably have to hope for another safety car. But if he doesn't pit and he does stay out on the hards, he will have to pit later on, and he will drop back quite far behind. So it's a bit of a dilemma for him. What will he go for? Will he pit or will he stay out? I'm not quite sure.
I think he's got to pitch. I don't know. It's a good question, because track position is crucial, but he is staying out. So he's pulled it, and Harry Palmer and Hobbsy are pitting right now, and Bosch Evans goes through as well. So these hard runners are not going to pit on this lap. So it can be difficult for Harry Palmer and Hobbsy to get through, because it's difficult to overtake. So they go for track position, but 4-star is in the pit lane. 3-4 is miles behind the P6 there on the brand new set of hardcore power tyres. You know what? Freefall has done a mega job so far in P6. Barely mentioned the guy, the Scotsman, everyone's favourite driver and commentator, but he has done a mega job so far on the hardcore power tyres. Keep that out of trouble, just following the train as his teammate Cavonis. I think he want to do the... No, he's staying out there. So Freefall, his teammate Cavonis could do his teammate a massive favour and held up as 4-stars the medium power tyres. So actually Freefall gains another place up to P5. But Harry Palmer and Hobbsy P3 P4 on the bonus set of hardcore power tyres. I cannot wait to see how the second phase of this race goes, as we've seen twist of events here in Monaco, with Toby caused the first safety car, the first retirement in this Grand Prix. So fair dues for a 12 laps this Grand Prix. Do you know what? It's only lap 12. It feels like it's been on for longer. Unbelievable.
Yeah, indeed. It seems like a very quick Grand Prix, but we've got 39 laps to go. So yeah, 12 laps only, but it took quite a bit for the first one to go out. But it is going to be quite interesting with Phoenix and Bosch Evans. They're on 12, 11, 13 laps old hards with Harry Palmer and Hobbsy on the new tires. But we've seen how difficult it is to overtake. Just needs one mistake of the cars in front. But they will have the tire advantage, and they know that Phoenix and Bosch Evans will have to pit at some point in this race, albeit with a safety car or in green flag conditions. Harry Palmer and Hobbsy will sure hope for that it will be under green flag conditions, but with a track like this, the safety car is always just around the corner, as it was 2 laps ago.
Wrong place, wrong time for the Harvarders, except 4-star, who's on the medium power tyres, but they will degrade in the latter stages. So 4-star in trouble, Bosch Evans and Phoenix in trouble, because it's when they pit on the medium power tyres, they're going to have to make their way to the field. Hot knife through butter. A steam train, sorry, I can't remember the reference, I've really messed that one up. But anyways, Phoenix and Bosch Evans, when they put on the medium power tyres, they will have to charge to the field and try and reclaim first and second. They're in a predicament. Harry Palmer and Hobbs can go towards the end, so can Freefall. And Cavonis will hold up the second pack, so that could be interesting how that works. Maybe how quick an AJ and Clerpy KXI did he overtake Cavonis on all the hardcore power tyres? We'll see them. Almost halfway, no, in fact, we're nowhere near halfway in this Grand Prix. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting now. We'll see what happens.
And we have to take a look at 4-star as well. He is the only one on mediums inside the top 10, on fresh mediums as well. Can he profit from that? Can he use his mediums to try and get further up the order? Well, we know how difficult it is to overtake, but he will have the tire advantage compared to everyone else ahead of him. So he will have to try and find a few positions at the restart. But yeah, it is very difficult to overtake without getting yourself into the wall or damaging with someone else's race. So we'll have to look out for him, but we'll also have to look out the 3 cars in front, as they will obviously try and find a way past. Phoenix and Bosch Evans, the safety car, I think will go will stay out for at least another lap, as AFL is nowhere near caught up to the back of the field.
Yeah, so Phoenix is getting a bit of distance between himself and the safety cars and just potentially trying to warm up his hardcore power tyres. Hardcore power tyres. What have you seen?
Phoenix has got front wing damage.
Has he?
Yes, he's lost his right end plate.
Good spot there, Milan. Good spot, mate.
That is crucial. That is massive for this race. He will be the slowest car, and he will be leading this race.
I remember a few seasons ago in Div 1, and it was Troy A and Reservoir who were 1-2 for Ferrari, but one of them had full wind damage. It was Troy A, and Reservoir went on to win the Grand Prix. So Ferrari again, unfortunately, having full wind damage, and this could be detrimental for his race now for Phoenix, who was lead the championship by 39 points. Phoenix has got 169 points, 4-star second under massive pressure from Bosch Evans in P3. Hobbsy's in 4th place. Hobbsy is doing a really good job so far. Currently P4 in the championship, currently P4 right now. AJ is P5 with 75 points, and with free fall in 6th place, 9 points behind AJ Wuhan. Diddy's in 7th with a podium, 2 podiums added to his name this season. Ben Clark in P8 and Harry Palmer down in P9, the outlier for me, because I don't think, well, it looks like he's got some amazing pace, but unfortunately, he just seems to make mistakes now and then. And he ruined his strategy back in Canada, went from inters to, I think it was, he started the wet car tyres and did the inter and had to go on the medium. So, yeah, the wet car tyres weren't the right time for that day, because Bosch Evans did the same thing, but Bosch Evans took his wets a very long way in the Grand Prix as well. But I know Harry Palmer's been so unlucky before with the wrong strategy, but a podium could be on today for the man from Manchester, but his former, well, his Phoenix in P1, also from Manchester, will also have difficulty. Safety car is in at the end of this lap then. So Phoenix will be uncomfortable territory with a broken front wing and also old tyres. Can Bosch Evans pounce? Can Palmer pounce Hobbsy? I think the people on the Brandon hardcore power tyres are in the best spot right now. It is easy to, it is easy to defend, but we're about to find out if Harry Palmer and Hobbsy can swoop their way through as Phoenix then negotiates the safety car around the final corner, and off they go then for the second half of this race as Bosch Evans has massive wheel spin at the exit of Anthony Nose as we head down towards turn 1. We go 4-star on the back of free fall with those mini compound tyres, not able to make any inroads on him as Cavolis then is holding up AJ Wuhan. He's on the old hard compound tyres, of course, so be holding these guys up. And AJ once again very frustrated, stuck behind somebody, and this could be the same move as there's contact there, and luckily not enough in the spin or in the wall, but AJ could get a better exit. Yes, he can now. Down the inside in towards Mirabel we go. Supermug trying to move down the inside a few seasons ago in F122, but it stick. But AJ now puts himself into P7.
Oh, the inside, almost losing it on the exit though, but he did find a way past Cavolis with a nice move up the inside. So up at the P7 he is, though with a track limit penalty. I think we'll have to try and chase after the cars in front, who are all stuck behind Phoenix in P1, who will be struggling on his tyres and with the stage of his front wing, as Cavolis now gets a 3-second time penalty as well, and King 5 Panda. So penalties coming in left, right and centre. But I must say Phoenix is holding on quite well, and it's more about Bosch Evans, who is under pressure from Harry Palmer, as Hobbsy has dropped behind just a little bit to Harry Palmer, with a free fall following him closely behind.
To be fair to Phoenix, he's done a mega job. We're standing the pressure on old hardcore power tyres and a broken front wing, so full credit goes towards Phoenix there. Despite having a broken car, he's still going at a good rate enough, so let's see if he can keep this up. But it's going to be so difficult. I don't see this working out for Bosch Evans and Phoenix, because when they pit, they're going to be joined in a last place potentially, depends how much of a gap they can build. So far it's Cavolis down in P8 they're watching the gap for. What's the gap between him and Phoenix? It's obviously quite low, because we had a few laps on the safety car. 5.5 then, so where can Phoenix and Bosch Evans slot into using the hardcore power tyres now? Where can they go? And will they make the medium power tyres work towards the end? Can they overtake? But it could be another safety car that could pay for dividends to them, because sometimes the first safety car is puts you at a massive disadvantage, but in the second safety car, they could swing back towards your way.
I think the only way the strategy can work is with another safety car, because they won't be in traffic, and I think everyone will pit to mediums with another safety car. As it stands, it's still green flag racing, and Phoenix and Bosch Evans still holding on, but Phoenix gets a 3-second time penalty through the swimming pool chicane, and that will make his job at the front even harder.
It will indeed then. So Bosch Evans and Harry Palmer and potentially Hobbsy licking their lips, followed by 3, 4, 4-star. 4-star running a stale race in P6 there, just frustrated on the mini compound tyres. He opted to go for the pit lane because he had no choice, unless the second safety car comes out right now. But Harry Palmer right behind Bosch Evans then. I would love to see these two in wheel-to-wheel combat because they were former teammates, of course, back in ACC. But we had the whole dilemma between those two with team switching. I was in the McLaren and Harry Palmer, I think, was in the Porsche Lamborghini in ACC. But we've seen plenty of good battles between these two. Bosch Evans, of course, introducing CRL 10 months ago to ACC, and ever since then it has become a very popular indeed. Unfortunately, I don't commentate for ACC no more because I prefer racing in ALR. I prefer racing in another league, so I don't like commentating for ACC because it's not my territory. But here we are, under the bridge we go, into the lights as we see the top three, all in close contention. Harry Palmer almost arriving at control, like Kimi Räikkönen did back in Adrian Sutil back in 2008.
Yeah, indeed, on the braking into the Nouvelle Chicane, he had that last lap as well. Just the rear end stepping out. Maybe he has his little front brake bias a little bit too low for these tires, but he is very much putting Bosch Evans under pressure. But as we've seen many times before in this race, it's so difficult to overtake, and Phoenix is doing a great job of holding on to his P1 position onto lap 19, nearing the halfway point of this race. Phoenix still leads ahead of Bosch Evans, Harry Palmer, but there's loads of cars falling behind all the way down to P7 in this leading group.
Okay, excited, and Claire Piast's followed down the order. Let's see what happens. He's spun, and the exit, and a safety car has been deployed. And I think what I think, because he lost his front wing, but I think that I dare say Palmer, Hobbs, and 3-4 should just stay out there on the hardcore power tyres and go towards the end. It should be a defensive game. Bosch Evans and Phoenix will obviously pit, but I think Palmer, Hobbs, and 3-4 should stay out. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's just a little bit too close after that another safety car, and they will have track position with tires that aren't really that much worse and will get better as the race goes on. So Phoenix and Bosch Evans, they will of course pit for mediums as it's the perfect opportunity for them, but I reckon a lot of guys will stay out on these hards, only 6-7 laps old. So I think it's better for them to stay out for now and get that track position, which is also important around Monaco.
It is indeed then. So we watch these guys coming to the swimming pool session. The top two definitely have to pit. There's no chance for them as Phoenix will drop down the order, but Bosch Evans has stayed out. That's very interesting. And Phoenix then pitting, and I think he could be the only one pitting in this race, and his race has gone bad to worse. A broken wing and a brand new mini compound tyres. So with 20 laps left to go in this race, another plot twist, and he rejoins them. Where will he rejoin? In fact, second half of the field are pitted as well. Diddy has been held up massively, like 2022 when Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc had to double stack. But in fact, Diddy stays out. Marty Atom picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lanes.
Quite impressive speeding in the pit lane at Monaco. I never managed to do that as it's so slow on the entry, but he did. But Phoenix will come out in P9. He has replaced his front wing, so we'll have a fresh restart in a few moments time. P9 on a brand new set of mediums, and it's now up to him to try and overtake. He's got 8 cars in front of him, we're all on older tires with around 20 laps to go. Can he fight his way back to the front even though he's got a 3-second time penalty? 19
laps on a set of mini compound tyres. They can go towards the end, but they'll be torn apart towards the end. This is a very Texas looking track, so it's rotation. Okay, rotation. I think you're on a different planet here, mate. But yeah, USA with barely any walls and fast flowing circuit. Monaco compacted, close with walls as Phoenix there goes deep in the Nouvelle Chicane, but doesn't cut the chicane again.
I think he's referencing to that the title of the stream is named Texas, so I think that's why he pointed that out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I noticed that when I started streaming, so I apologise for the wrong title. I do understand where you're coming from because that was just a very odd joke there for rotation, but I understand now. Sorry, rotation, it is my fault.
I must say though, Bosch Evans staying out on these mediums as the mighty Adam retires in pit lane, or does he? No, he doesn't. He's crashed out on the safety car. What has happened there then? But the Williams driver's out of this race, going into Tabac.
Yeah, we saw Pastor Maldonado and I think Max Chilton collide through there, and also Jules Bianchi got took out as well. And yeah, unfortunately, Mattiatum is out of the race, crashed under a safety car, not quite sure how. But now his teammate is currently in P11, as you get points from the top 12. So Curly is in the points range, whereas King Panda has a massive or his race hasn't translated well here because it's massive. It's flipped on his head. So I'm struggling to speak because I'm about to cough. But King Panda there, who finished in P3 at the USA Grand Prix last week in Texas, and now had a much different race in comparison to Monaco. So a complete contrast is what I want to say to get the words out there. In the Mercedes in P12, got a 3-second penalty. And let's see then, Harry Palmer could be the one to win because I have no idea what Bosch Evans is going to do in P1 there. Maybe later on, can he defend from Harry Palmer and potentially pray for a safety car around about lap 27.8 and go on to meet a compound tyres? That could be a strategy because his race, admittedly, has been ruined. There is no chance for him to be back up here.
He has taken a big gamble though by staying out on these 20-lap old hard tyres with everyone behind him. With the tyre advantage, 18 laps to go after this one. He will have to pit in this race. He will have to hope for another safety car here in a few laps time, which, I think it could happen with the way this race has been going. But yeah, he will. That's the risk he has taken for the win of this race. So we'll have to see how it pans out for him. Safety car will go in at the end of the next lap, so we will have 18 laps or 17 laps of racing remaining. Yeah, he will need another safety car. If he doesn't, then his race is totally ruined.
It is indeed. Did you hear me cough? Because I think I muted myself.
Yeah.
I think I unmuted myself by accident coughing. So I was trying to press the button as quick as I could so you couldn't hear me cough. But yes, by the way, guys, I am ill. I didn't want to say it because I know Four-Star would clip it up and put it on his TikTok. But I am going to say it because that's why I've been struggling to speak tonight. Got very weird illness, it must be said. I did say last week that I was going to be ill for the Monaco Grand Prix. I actually am, but I didn't intend to be.
Jokingly, yes, this race usually quite chaotic. But yeah, Bosch Evans, it's up to him now. He will have to defend his position as long as he can, hopefully for him, until another safety car. So he will not only have to keep it on track, but have to stay in P1, which is, well, probably the easiest track to do that. But you know that Harry Palmer will be lurking around to try and find a way past.
He is indeed. How much risk is Palmer willing to take? He knows Bosch Evans got to play again to do the harsh and medium strategy, use more than one tyre compound. So how much risk is Palmer willing to take here in second place? Because main target I dare say is Hobbs and 3 for behind. Keep an eye on those guys there behind him. So don't take too much risk against Bosch Evans because he can be slower on the hard compound tyres and contact will be inevitable because you carry different speed in corners with the tyre difference, and that's we've seen plenty of times before where people have made contact because they're carrying different speed in the corners with different tyre age as well, so it comes to blows that way. But Harry Palmer, he knows the victory is in his hands with his main competitor Phoenix down in P9, Kavonis in P10, and his main target is Hobbsy. That was a crucial move when Phoenix overtook Hobbsy because it put him backwards into P3. Potentially Hobbsy could have tried to win this race, but that moved out to back. As we see, Bosch Evans then pull the trigger as we go racing once again. Then on the lap 23, Bosch Evans leads him away as we head down towards turn 1. Who's that side by side? Four-Star for 1 second. We'll go for a move of 3-4, but 3-4 goes defensive on the inside and he blocks him off. As we watch now Phoenix, let's see what he's doing as he's overtaking Ruben up the hill. Nice move there for Phoenix as he puts himself into P8. A lot of work to do in these mini compound tyres. Next target is Diddy. I presume Diddy will let him through, do you think?
Yeah, I would hope so for him as teammates. Just up ahead, a bit of a kerfuffle as well, but Phoenix with a great restart, already overtaking one car on the exit of turn 1 on Beau Rivage. Up at the P8, bit of contact into the hairpin. It's quite slow around there, but so many cars going through at walking speed there through the Lowe's hairpin. But Phoenix up at the P8, his teammates will let him through. Oh, there's a spin, and it is AJ Wuhan going into the tunnel and spun, and he's hit the wall.
He has indeed. There's AJ Wuhan. His race go from bad to worse as if he joins in last place. Diddy is still ahead of Phoenix, but he pulls the right side, and Phoenix, with the pleasure of teamwork, goes up the inside into bad. That's the second time he's made that move, but easily done as he puts himself into P6. Now the challenge is on between Four-Star, Freefall, Hobbsy, and Palmer, Bosch Evans. Bosch Evans doing a mega job to defend from Harry Palmer. Let's see then, where can he strike Harry Palmer? He knows Phoenix is on the way on the mini compound tyres, but they might have a bit of difficulty taking towards the end as we have the DRS enabled then as we head down towards turn 1. Palmer, he knows not to take too much risk in Bosch Evans. Bosch Evans could be an obstacle in the way in first place. So don't make any risky moves. Don't get tempted to go down the inside because Hobbs is the main target in P3. So is Freefall and potentially Phoenix as AFL gets a 3 second time to end this race.
Indeed, and Harry Palmer currently staying behind Bosch Evans. He knows that he doesn't need to overtake if there's no safety car, but if there's a safety car and Bosch Evans will pit, it's going to be a dilemma for Harry Palmer to stay out of pit. So Yeah, if he has the opportunity to go past, he should go for it, but he shouldn't take too much risk to try and go for the lead if he knows that the car in front does need to pit at least once. We've got 15 laps remaining, but he's very close to the back of Bosch Evans. Constantly goes a little bit deep into the Nouvelle chicane, but on the exit, can he go for it? No, can't quite go for it. He doesn't have the exit to potentially pull alongside into the back, which we saw Phoenix do as Bosch Evans struggling through the filming possession, and Harry Palmer still very close behind, but just can't quite find a way past.
Tried to open up the exit, and there's contact between Phoenix and 4-star, I think. Yes, there is then. Oh, Phoenix has a massive slap at the exit, but here comes Palmer now, side by side. It's towards turn one. It's been so close. There's enough space on the outside to come to blows, but luckily unscathed. Neither driver in the wall, but they climb towards the hill. Can Harry Palmer take the lead? He can, and Hobbsy, when he follows suit into P2, he can't. So Harry Palmer, that's a very crucial move there. Bosch Evans, good respect, good space there. They did make contact in a tight corner like turn one, but made out scared because that could have ended worse and in tears for both Harry Palmer and Bosch Evans, who worked so hard in this race to get themselves where they are right now, and to end it like that, we're absolutely frustrated for Harry Palmer after on new tyres, a driver in front of him on old tyres getting in the way. But now let's see what happens then. Hobbsy looks like he's under pressure for freefall despite being on the same age of tyre, just 1 lap difference. But as we make our way now, as freefall is right behind Hobbsy. Hobbsy is really struggling. No to the hardcore power tyres as freefall looking for a move. Sorry, that's Phoenix looking for a move as Hobbsy gets a bad exit. Here comes freefall for a podium, side by side, in towards the back. They're going to slow down dramatically. Here comes 4-star. 4-star's up to P4. There's contact. Oh, they're so close to contact between Hobbsy and Phoenix for the second time in this race at the swimming pool session. But freefall out of nowhere is up into P3. Could potentially get a podium for the second time this season. What a race for freefall. Been quiet in the first stint at the back of the DRS train, but watch the chaos unfold in front of him as KXI now has made a big mistake as he's under pressure from Claire PR, but Claire PR is in the pit lane now. But now it's just Harry Palmer leading. 13 laps to go. Harry Palmer can see a victory in his sights very soon. Same time, very careful, Harry, because it's just be careful. There's no need to make mistakes like that.
Indeed, but I want to talk about Hobbs, man. It's the second time it's happened to him. As Phoenix with a look on the ink side, but Hobbs for the second time in this race gets overtaken by 2 cars going into Tabak. Should be surely frustrated with that, as he made a mistake once again on the exit of Nouvelle chicane. He's down to P5 again, as he was just in the podium position a few moments ago, but he's now behind 4-star and freefall, and he almost had Phoenix going past him as well. Who's now having a look at the Aston Martin once again, closing the gap towards Nouvelle chicane. Phoenix goes up the inside. Oh, that doesn't work.
That reminds me of Kimi Räikkönen, and I think Roman Grosjean back in. I can't remember who it is now. It was a Lotus. Kimi Räikkönen down the inside of Perez. Sorry. Kimi Räikkönen down the inside of Perez. They made contact going towards this game. Perez was in a good place, but Räikkönen tried to go down the inside as he was on form on the so-called power tyres, but got taken out by the McLaren driver, Sergio Perez, back in the day in the McLaren. As we ride on Boba Phoenix again, DRS enabled for him. How hard is Hobbsy going to defend? How frustrated is he? Can he keep his composure as Phoenix does a dummy up the inside, forces Hobbsy out wide? Can Phoenix get a better exit as we pull to the right hand side? No space given between the two as we climb towards the hill now, side by side. More contact made as Phoenix trying to go around the outside. More contact as well as keep it pinned on the throttle there. Phoenix just gets ahead, but they tag wheels. They tag wheels. Hobbsy is now released again back up to P6, but free fall up to the inside now, and they lost a lot of time as Hobbsy once again makes a mistake. He is absolutely frustrated there with Phoenix. So many times we've seen contact between those two as Phoenix now muscles his way up into P5 again.
That was so close once again between these two, almost going both into the wall. Bold move there by Phoenix to try and get past as AFL has crashed on the safety car, and the safety has gone out as AFL crashed in the hairpin, and that is great news for Bosch Evans. The race has once again been thrown upside down.
Don't know how he crashed a hairpin like that. It's before the hairpin, so he is out of the race and causes an unnecessary safety car. This race was going superbly until that moment, but let's see then. This third safety car will change things again, as we see now. People, will they pit? Will they dare lose track position? No, but Bosch Evans has to pit. There's no choice for him. 3-4, he's going to stay out there on the hardcore power tyres. Phoenix, will he pit? No, he shouldn't. He stays in P4. So there's 12 laps left to go. Not willing to give up track position, but Bosch Evans has to pit there. So to get rid of the hardcore power tyres, put the product set mediums. Let's see, where will he rejoin? Probably behind Cavolis. In fact, there's massive train there, but they've got to adhere to their speed limiter as Bosch Evans is crawling down the pit lane. Where is he? He's rejoined right behind Bean, Polishman, as we head up towards turn 1 we go.
Bosch Evans down in P11, he's gone on for the mediums, but surprisingly enough, the cars behind him, Ruben and Spider, have fitted a set of softs which is interesting, with almost, 11, 12 laps to go. Same for KXI and the McLaren, who also has to replace his front wing as he sustained damage earlier on during an incident. But yeah, softs, not quite sure if they will make it. The mediums for sure will, as Wes Evans has come out in P11, has a lot of work to do to try and find his way through to the front of the field.
Polishman, of course, in P10 on the medium compound tyres. He stayed out there, so Bosch Evans put him under immediate pressure. But Polishman is back. I remember him being teammates with Indian Jesus, and Aston Martin, I think, won the championship day. And Indian Jesus won the championship at ILT Crack and Rapid. What a championship fight that was between that trio there. As I remember the first race of the season where both Aston Martins made contact in Saudi Arabia, took themselves out. But ever since then, Indian Jesus has done a mega job to reclaim the championship. That's one of his big moments, Indian Jesus. His second big moment is in Imola, when the safety car came out and he crashed into it, lost him the lead of the race.
Very interesting indeed. We've got 11 laps to go. Harry Palmer and Freefall, they have the tire disadvantage compared to Forster. But Forster is on 15 lap old medium tires. He will have to do another 11 laps on those mediums. Will they make it to the end? I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Only if there's not a few safety cars. But yeah, 27 laps on mediums. That's quite a long distance. I'm sure he will be struggling with tire wear near the end of the race. And Phoenix is right there within striking distance for potentially a podium finish.
Phoenix has been in the wars today with a broken full wing and how to do overtakes of people in unconventional places like Tabac, and got past his teammate with ease, also in Tabac as well. I didn't have to pull for fire, but once again Diddy is running a solid race in P6. They just pick up the pieces after other people's mistakes and misfortunes. Cavolis started down in P14. Curly inside the top 10, that's a great race for him. Can he survive inside the top 10? You do need to get inside the top 12 to score points, but Curly then in 8th place, gained 11 places, started 19th, and he is on the old hardcore power tyres. Guys behind on newer mediums / softs. There'll be hungry drivers down there indeed. About to find out what happens in the last 10 laps of this Grand Prix. And Phoenix, let's see, can he reclaim the lead of the Grand Prix? This could get very hectic indeed in the last 10 laps of this Grand Prix, because Phoenix will be on a massive charge after his blunders during the Grand Prix in P4 with a broken end plate of the second safety car, and he went into AI mode as well, as that heats up the tyres. And I know in other leagues that doing it in AI is illegal, so a safety car is in at the end of this lap. Milan, you want to take it away, Milan?
Indeed. Sorry, what?
Do you want to take it away?
I will take it away from you. But yeah, 10 laps sprint towards the end. This could get quite hectic. Phoenix knows he will have to go on the move, but he also knows he's got a 3-second time penalty. He doesn't only need to overtake the top 3, he also needs to pull away by 3 seconds if he does so. But here we go then. Safety car restart. Harry Palmer leads the way on his 16, soon 17 lap all tires. He blitzes away at the restart. 8 tenths he's already put to Freefall and 4-star, who are right behind him. We go into lap 30 of 39. Harry Palmer has a comfortable lead going into turn 1, ahead of the Sauber, Freeball and 4-star. Phoenix already wide again, right behind the V car of 4-star. Can he already try and find a way past? Very close to Massenet and into Casino Square. Having a look up the inside, not quite sure. As without into Mirabo. He's staying behind for now for Phoenix, but he's putting back the pressure on the 4-star, going very deep as we go wheel to wheel into the hairpin, round the outside of the hairpin. Surely not, he's putting to the inside for the next turn. And Phoenix, what a move that is for the podium. Phoenix up into P3.
4-star couldn't do anything about it, of course, as he had a bad exit out of the hairpin. He should have been a bit more aggressive, but kept it nice and tidy for the time being. If he can stay in DRS range of Phoenix and get under 3 seconds, it'll still be in the podium. Because if you remember, 4-star and Bosch Evans are in the championship fight for second place, and they're so close behind each other, both 4-star and Phoenix. But there's been another twist in this Grand Prix, because somebody spun his contact going down into the chicane, and that's Spider and Ruben down in P16 there. That cost Hobbs the podium back at the Canadian Grand Prix. As look at this, Phoenix is right at the back of Freefall, the silent killer in this race, but Phoenix is right behind Freefall as we head onto the main straight. There's no DRS enabled. Harry Palmer starts lap 31, but he knows this is not over yet, because Phoenix got some mighty pace on the mediums. The question is, can those mediums, they can take them towards the end, but will they start to drop off later on in the Grand Prix?
That is the question indeed, and if they do, it will be difficult for him to build a gap from over 3 seconds to Harry Palmer. And Phoenix once again having a look up the inside. Free fall doesn't make the same mistake that 4-star did by going too deep into Mirabeau, and Phoenix still has to stay behind the kicks out for a little while longer, heading towards Portier. But Firefall doing a good job so far of staying ahead, as Harry Palmer has a massive moment through Portier on the exit, losing quite a bit of time. Down to 5/10 it is now, but Phoenix having a look on the kicks out. Yellow flags behind. Phoenix has a go on the inside. No, he hasn't, and he will have to stay behind for a little while longer. Phoenix and P3 in hot pursuit of the 2 cars in front.
It could be 3-4's second podium of the season. Can he stay there? As Curly's retired a safety car for the 4th time in this race has came out. So 10 laps left to go. What do I expect? It's Monaco, so I shouldn't really expect more or less, to be honest with you. But 4th safety car is out, and Harry Palmer's pitting. That could be the race ending decision right there. Why has he done that? My goodness me.
No need. He could easily make it to the end on the hards, but he is choosing to. He's choosing to go into the softs. Why? Why lose out so much track position? There's only 6 laps to go after the safety car restart. I really don't understand that decision.
I don't either, but 3-4 is now leading this Grand Prix. He could be on course for a race win around here in Monaco. I dare say unexpected because he's been quite quiet in the middle part of the track. He started out in 6th place, kept out a juggle, and now he's the one that could win this Grand Prix. But the pressure will be ramping on. Phoenix versus 3-4, and let's see what the Scotsman, I'll do, the man from Manchester, we're about to find out. But 4-star now has been promoted back up to the podium in P3. That's good points ahead of Bosch Evans down to P7. But Harry Palmer, man, why? You just threw a race win away. Even I'm frustrated. I'm supposed to be unbiased, but it's so frustrating seeing people lose race wins easily.
Oh, that's probably the reason why he's not in the top 3 in the championship, is it? He has the pace, but not quite the strategic advantage by going towards the end. But he's spitting and he's down at P11. He has such a big job to do. He can't overtake 10 cars in 6 laps. That's not going to work at all. That's just not happening, is it?
Nope. Outside first place, outside the top 3, no podium will be there for him unless something dramatic goes on ahead. But again, 3-4, a win in the Monaco Grand Prix with 4-star promoted back up into P3. Remember, he went from hards to mediums, and his tyres must be getting very old by now. 4 safety cars that came out, and Harry Palmer on the last one potentially has made a big mistake in the P11 on the brand new set of soft compound tyres, and I don't think that strategy will work for him as they all bullish up now towards Raskas and Anthony Nose. So the safety car was set for one more lap, and the free fall, I think, will have about 5 laps to defend from Phoenix in P2. Can he do it? Can 3-4 get a win? The benefit for him, he is on the, I don't know if the mediums and hards or a crossover point between those two. Maybe they could be the same age. You know, the hard compound tyres are very durable, but when the mediums start to fade away, they start to go dramatically as well. I think Phoenix's tyres are okay because, remember, there's been about 2 safety cars prior to this one as well, so the tyre life will be not extended, but reduced towards the end. But I expect nobody to have fuel problems in this Grand Prix.
Absolutely not with all these safety cars. Easily to save fuel. Well, I won't be able to tell who's going to win this race for now, but I will be able to tell is that it's probably going to get hectic because the front of the field has the oldest tires, and at the rear of the field we got a bunch of cars on brand new soft tires who want to make as much ground as possible in these final few laps. It will be 6 laps towards the end of the race, hopefully without a safety car. We've already seen Fords. I think that's good enough for now. But free fall, he will be the one to decide the pace. He is in P1, 21 laps, has his heart gone, and Phoenix behind on the mediums. So, well, can he find a way past? But with 6 laps to go, he will have to build a 3-second gap as well, which is going to be very difficult indeed. It's a difficult task for the man in P2 right now. Let's see then, 6 laps to go. Who is going to win this race? I'm not sure.
4 safety cars, but there's still 15 people in this race, expecting more to jump out like flies. But the safety car does come out when somebody hits the wall and their front wing is lost, so that does trigger a safety car. But here we are, there's through the swimming pool section. Phoenix, his job to overtake 3-4 and build a 3-second gap. McConey is in the chat, supporting 3-4, a well-liked man in the community, been around CRL since 2019. Now he's an admin and he does all the hard work in terms of graphics. 3-4 leads him away. Can he win? There is 5 laps left to go in this Grand Prix as we head towards turn 1. 3-4 hasn't been really in a position to win Grand Prix since a few seasons ago. But now he's in a position to win. Will the pressure get to him, or can he maintain it?
That is going to be the task for him, to keep his car on track and especially out of the walls. He will be under immense pressure from behind. Phoenix will be lurking around to try and get past. Phoenix knows he will have to find a way past. If he doesn't and he stays in this train, he will drop down a load of positions with his 3-second penalty. He needs to find a way past as soon as possible, but it is just so difficult. Could he do it again going into Tabak as he has done multiple times in this race already? Phoenix, he is right behind the kick but just not quite close enough just yet to try and go for the move into the Nouvelle Chicane. We go. Freefall does get the exit right, so Phoenix has unable to get past.
Oh, there's a crash! Harry Palmer is out of this race, and he's smashed into the wall. That's his race done and dusted. It goes from bad to worse for Harry Palmer. No points in this Grand Prix, and no safety car either. I think we've reached our exceeded safety cars, and plus 1 lap 34 as well, so no more safety cars could probably determine this race. And one of the big contenders is out. He went side by side with Ruben, not enough space given between both cars there, but the main battle to watch out for is Freefall versus Phoenix. A, he potentially has the tyre advantage, and B, Phoenix has a 3-second time penalty. But if Phoenix wins this Grand Prix, fair dues to him after being in the wars left, right, centre, having to do a lot of overtaking and changing his front wing as well in the pit lane. And the strategy hasn't gone his way either until now. Let's see then, can Phoenix get his 4th win in a row? AJ and Bosch Evans getting close together. Let's see what happens going down there. Bosch Evans looks like he backed off, or maybe contact was involved, but now AJ's up into P7 ahead of Bosch Evans there. His strategy, Phoenix has a massive wheel spin out of Portier again.
Yeah, I saw that as well. His mediums struggling with the mediums tire getting to him as he is pushing hard to try and find a way past. Freefall holding on though, and he's deploying his ERS as well on the exit to make sure that the Ferrari can't put himself alongside down to the swimming pool section. He can't go for a move here. Phoenix is so close to the back, but he just can't find a way past, as he will have to stay behind into Raskas as well. But he's got 4 laps to go. Freefall still in P1, and as long as he remains in P1, he knows he will have to win, because Phoenix with a 3-second time penalty, there's no way he can build that gap with only 2 to 3 laps to go. So Freefall doing everything he can to remain in P1. He's doing a damn good job, I must say, to stay ahead of the Ferrari for now.
Yeah, he is indeed. Phoenix there, unfortunately, can't find a way past him, as he could... look at that massive stop again. As Hobbsy now in P4, the man that got shuffled backwards twice into back. 2 different occasions, could be on the podium in P3, because Phoenix is right there for the taking then. So, Hobbsy will move up. Diddy will move up. I think Cavonis will as well. And the guys further behind because they're so close. So Phoenix will not score a podium potentially at the Monaco Grand Prix here. He could fall all the way back into P8, depending what it's like towards the end. But Phoenix just hoping that Freefall makes a mistake so he can let go, as he has a lock up on the inside. Dummies him going towards the chicane, but Scott does not fall for that one indeed.
He doesn't, and Phoenix desperately trying to look for a gap. He just can't quite find it, even in the swing position, hitting the back of the kick Sauber as well, pushing him through the corners. Bit of a moment on the exit of the swimming pool and going into the wall as well, as Phoenix desperately trying to find a way past. We've got 3 laps to go as Bosch Evans and AJ Hoon going wheels with ghosted through each other, and the Alpine of AJ Hoon stays ahead once again of the Mercedes, who Bosch Evans, these two have been going at it since the restart as well. Bosch Evans having a little bit of look of into turn 1. But he has to stay behind for now. But Phoenix still unable to get past. His mediums starting to fade as well. 17 laps he's been on them. He just can't find a way past.
No, Cardadina, Forster looks like he's dropping away as well. The gap was 1 second. He's also on the older medium compound tyres. But Freefall, if you notice, in the middle sector, he's very tactical, very methodical in terms of saving his battery, because he knows Phoenix can't overtake him in the middle sector, where there's no chance other than Raskas if Phoenix is so close. So Freefall is managing his battery sufficiently in this race and making sure he has enough on the main straight with the DRS enabled to stay ahead. As you can see, he's put it in on. He knows he won't be able to threat from Phoenix behind, overtaking him anywhere in that middle sector. So can he keep it like this? But 4-star now, it's dropped away. The gap is 1.4 seconds. He starts struggling with the compound tyres, and there's been more contact. Bean is out of the race. No safety car will be deployed, but he's crashed in the same place as Palmer as well.
I must say Phoenix was very close to crashing out of this race. He hit the wall on the exit on the inside of the Nouvelle Chicane, but not quite hard enough to pop the wheel off. But he's very lucky to stay alive in this race, but he's still very much putting the pressure on. Freefall, 2 laps to go. There's no way he could overtake and build a 3-second gap, but the best he can do is try and fight for this P2. He knows he's got 1.7 now to 4-star. Can he build the gap even more? 4-star is definitely struggling. He's got 25 laps on these mediums. They are struggling. They are falling off massively now in these final few laps. So Freefall's had a moment through Tabak. He is ghosted. Not anymore though, as AJ Hoorn has had a moment. He is spun into Mirabeau.
Yeah, AJ, unfortunately, his race goes from bad to worse there, but Freefall under massive pressure as we watch now the two cars with 2 laps left to go in this race. Freefall is his last win was seasons ago. I can't exactly remember, but I know he scored a few podiums in season 9, and Phoenix then almost getting so close. Luckily adapted to his speed, could have easily wiped him out, but look at this, under massive pressure. Freefall can essentially let him go. Obviously not going to do that, of course. Make sure that there's no contact made, but Phoenix is desperate to get past here. In towards Rascas they go. They're heading on to the final lap of the Grand Prix line, and let's see what happens in the final stages of this race.
Phoenix has the DRS, and the ERS is going to pull to the outside of turn 1. Can he go for the move round the outside, wheel to wheel, Freefall, defense the inside line, into the wall goes Phoenix on the exit. Did he pick up front wing damage? They were very close indeed. Here comes Forster now alongside. He does have front wing damage for the second time in this race. Phoenix has lost his front left end plate and will now be looking backwards rather than forwards, because Freefall has built a little bit of a gap now ahead of Phoenix. And now there's a massive train, the entire top 6, top 7 within striking distance of each other. This is getting spicy on the final lap of this race.
And Freefall will taste victory for the first time in a long time, since 4 seasons ago, or 5. It was a long time since Freefall won a race in CRL. But here he is, they're defending against Phoenix. He's done a mighty job, great strategy call, and he made no mistakes because others around him made big mistakes, and therefore he was able to capitalise on those mistakes to put him into first place, the silent killer in this Grand Prix. What a mega job for Freefall. Did he expect to win here tonight? I'm not quite sure, because it looks like Hobbsy, Bosch Evans and Harry Palmer are the ones that's in the sweet spot to win, but Phoenix no way down the inside. Will there be contact? Into Rascas' contact, and there's a bit of a constitute effect as well as Forster gets out of shape, but Freefall out of anti-nose. He will see the checkered flag first. It's Freefall, Scott Dodds, who wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Fantastic drive from him to secure his first win since season 6. Fantastic indeed. Amazing job from Freefall. He's finally done it, pieced it all together, and his season looks like it's underway, because he looks like a real competitor so far as well. 4-star on the podium in second place. Mega job from him, and he extends his championship lead. In fact, extends his lead against Bosch Evans, fighting for P2. And Hobbsy on the podium, despite all of his troubles, getting shuffled backwards quite a few times in the same place. But after all that, Hobbsy is still P3 on the podium. I don't think he'll be happy knowing there could have been a potential race win towards the end. But this Monaco Grand Prix definitely put on a great show. Better than expected. The safety cars did annoy me a bit, but what was I expecting? It's Monaco. Safety cars will be deployed. But now we watch the podium sitters here. The lift of the champagne, as it's the Scotsman who is first ahead of 4-star and Hobbsy in P3. Milan, told you before that I wasn't going to interview anybody, but I might as well do Scott.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. I'll have to go actually in a few moments. So, but I must say, congratulations to Freefall. He didn't bottle it under immense pressure and kept it in the lead in these final few laps. Very impressive to win him. But what a great race that was. A bit hectic with the safety cars, but Freefall didn't step a single foot wrong, and he won it. Congratulations to him.
Anything to say for Freefall, Milan?
No, I just want to congratulate him. I'll let you take over the questions.
Alright then, so
Death to G. Garrett!
Hey, Jamie.
Sorry, I have myself on mute. 3-4, congratulations, mate. What an epic race from you. And you've seen all the chaos in front of you, and other people make mistakes with strategies, hitting the wall, or Harry Palmer making the wrong strategy towards the end. You were there to pick up the pieces, no penalties, and you had good pace as well. How were the nerves heading towards the final few laps of this Grand Prix? Because it's been a long time since you've been in a race winning situation here in CRL. And to have somebody like Phoenix right behind you, it must have been very difficult to keep your nerves in tight.
Yeah, and I could feel my heart beat in my feet, mate, I'll be honest with you. I knew he had the 3 seconds, and I knew he was pretty close to the second 3 seconds as well. And I'd also heard from a few drivers that he was getting a bit elbows out, so I drove it safe, as you could see. I don't think I did anything wrong. There was a little thing into turn 1, but I don't think the move was never on. The space was never there. he was just getting desperate at that point, like he's desperate not to go to Tier 1. But it was a cagey few laps, let's say that.
It was indeed, and every time the safety car came out, what was going through your head? Were you getting a bit annoyed? Did the safety cars advantage you? What did you think that whatever decision you made was the wrong or right one? Talking to the safety cars, because that can completely change races. And did you know when it was the right time to pit or not onto whatever set of tyres and maybe stay out there and hold off?
Yeah, I mean, well, the first one came out, I think, was at lap 8, 9, 10, round about that. Obviously, a little bit earlier than if you're doing just a clean run, medium to hard. So, at that point, though, knowing that there probably is going to be another safety car, if you stay out, you're going to fall down the pack and be right in the guys at the back. And then it was just a case of, like, right, I know they haven't pit, I know this guy behind me, I've got the pace, and even if he does pit, they're going to fall in traffic, and just track position is key. Really, speaking of strategies, what a fumble from Harry. That was his race to win. I still don't know why he pit for, I'm assuming it was softs.
Yes.
With 7 laps to go round Monaco. Harry, what are you doing, fam? But it literally was, you know, the mediums are nearly at their point, we might as well get the hards on, and then track position is key, let's just run them out. And if I get swarmed by softs behind, so be it, I made the mistake, but this occasion it was the right one.
Sorry about that, I'm just struggling to speak, but yeah, well done today, 3-4, absolute mega job, and you've had a good run of form recently, other than, I think, Texas last week, but Canada finished in P2, elsewhere you finished on the podium, so I can't remember where, but how do you feel going into the next few races? Because I don't think, well, you could potentially, I don't know, in the last 4 races, it's Brazil, Japan, Abu Dhabi and Saudi, is your main target just to try and be best, well, not be best, but like try and do well in every single race, not thinking about the championship?
Yeah, I mean, I think this season I missed Australia, and then I had a run at kind of, I think it was like 3 6th and a 7th. Obviously the second in Canada. Quota was just a setup issue and my fault. There was just a few things wrong with the setup and it just wasn't clicking that day. So, you know, you live and learn, you move on. Brazil, it's a good track for racing, so we'll see what happens. Japan, again, good track for racing, pretty flowing, I do quite like that. Abu Dhabi's going to be up there, one of my favourites. And Jeddah, I'll just be happy to keep it on track and out of the wall. So, well, best of the race, let's say, maybe P4.
What do you find harder, Saudi or Monaco?
Saudi, because Monaco is, you know, Monaco, you're going down the gears, you're going, right, I'm in second for this. You're using a lot of engine braking, whereas for Saudi, to me, it's more about your turning points and keeping that flow. And if you mess up one, you've messed up the next one. And it's not just keeping yourself out of the wall, it's keeping yourself on a fast line. And if you mess that up, out of the way of the fast guys coming behind you, and I think that's where I maybe struggle a little bit with my turn-in points. Whereas, you know, here it's like 90 degrees, it's hairpins, you just get it down to second gear, flick it in, sound. As long as you don't hit the wall, you're fine.
Well, congratulations to 3-4. I mentioned you as well being up there in the TAP Championship inside the top 6. Might get AJ. I think Hobbsy finished in P3, so you can't get to him. But I think you'll definitely overtake AJ in the next upcoming race. And well done today, mate. You did a mega job. Nice to see you back winning, and hopefully we see more of you in the next upcoming races. Great pace today. Kept out of the walls. No penalties. Great strategy. And yeah, kept Felix at bay. And yeah, well done today, mate. Well, fantastic job.
Cheers, Jamie. Cheers, Milan. Thanks for commentating again tonight.
Thank you, Milan, for joining me. He has gone now, but that is it then for the Monaco Grand Prix. I only interviewed 3-4. Sorry, Hobbsy, and 4-star. But I want to get to bed because I'm really ill. I didn't want to commentate tonight, but yeah, I was really struggling to speak. So. But Hobbsy, well done on P3. 4-star, well done on P2. Good job for both of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, see you all next week. You're welcome. See you all next week at the, I just mentioned it, Brazilian Grand Prix for the next race.
You're welcome.
What'd you say, Josh?
I said you're welcome.
Join us back, at the Brazilian Grand Prix next week, and it should be a good one with 2 DRS zones and long straights and plenty of action as well. Thank you to Milan once again. I'll see you all next week. Join me back at 8 o'clock for Div 1, Tier 1 at the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's see if that race also has something to offer, like here. Maybe less safety cars with the high caliber of the Div 1 drivers. No disrespect, of course, to Div 2.
Whoa! We're not